Welcome to our show. Our guest today is Mr. Klarens, an attorney Klarens, young youth from our community, Iraqi Middle Eastern community. We are today interviewing Mr. Das because he's running for Oakland County judge. We'd like to know a little bit about Mr. Das. Mr. Das is a young guy, been an attorney for many years. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself, what he is doing, where he started, why he is running for a judge, what he expected from our community, if he can be elected, what the community expected from him. So we're going to start and ask him a few questions. Hopefully we're going to support this young man to become one of the star of the Middle Eastern communities in Oakland County. Mr. Das, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for calling me young also.
Well, you're young. We are old, compared to us, you're very young. Mr. Das, I know you became an attorney about 10 years ago. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you started, why you became an attorney, where you started, what do you expect? Let's start it slowly. Why you became an attorney?
Well, that's a great question. I actually get that question all the time because I'm the first attorney in my entire family. My family is actually full of scientists, doctors, and engineers, and I'm the only person who became a lawyer. But I really believed that after September 11th, when I was in high school, we need good leaders, we need good lawyers, we need people to protect people's rights, especially for our community that oftentimes gets stereotyped, because of 9/11. We need good role models and good examples in government and the law. So I went to law school. I wanted to be a good example for others, and then I graduated law school and started practicing law.
I know your dad is very involved with the community for the last 40 years. Your dad is very involved in the medical field, in the politician, in the religion, and everything else. I know you started an organization yourself, working with the other communities, working with the Jewish community, with the Muslims community, with the Christian communities. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in other organizations besides the law.
Well, that's a very important part of, I think, being a lawyer, because when you are a lawyer, you always have another side. You're on one side and then you have to think about the other side. So I've spent my whole career working with interfaith groups, whether it's the Jewish community, the Muslim community, the Indian community, anybody, because I believe that the more I know about other people and the more they know about me, that's how we get justice. If I know what they're going through, then I can understand their situation a little bit better. Part of why I'm running for judge is because I think that our county in Oakland has changed significantly. We're much more diverse. We're much more populative of minorities, but the judges don't reflect that. The legislature doesn't reflect that. And in order for people to feel fair, that they have a good fair shot in Oakland County, they need to see a fair justice system. They need to see people that look like them, that talk like them,
understand them,
and
understand the culture.
Them. And that's the most important thing, understand them.
Yeah. You were an assistant prosecutor in Oakland County for 5-6 years. What's make you change your mind and open your own private office?
Well, I started in 2012. I left in 2016, at the end of 2016, so 5 years. I was seeing some of the most serious crimes you could see. Things, rape, child abuse, domestic violence, and even murder. I was in a unit called the Special Victims Unit. It's the most complicated area in the office. But what I started seeing was I would see the same person that I prosecuted in 2012, in 2013, in 2014, and 2015, and I started realizing I could help these people more than just asking for punishment for them. Some people have to go to jail, some people have to be punished, but there's a lot of people who can be helped. And so I left, I started this law firm so I can help people. If I can find a young person at 13 or 14 years old and help him or her, then I'm going to have them better for the rest of their life. If I can help somebody get divorced and find some better relationship for them, then I'm going to have made an impact on their life. So I really wanted to see the other side. That's why I left. But I also think that having both sides of experience is exactly what you need in a judge, not just somebody who's only been a prosecutor or only been a defense attorney.
So you know both sides of the coin. You're going to understand both sides, as they say, both sides of the coin. You understand as a victim, you understand as if you're a criminal, the other side. For you and your private office, what kind of law you practice?
I really focus on family law, criminal law, and business law. I have developed a newer area which we call crimmigration, which is for people who have criminal records, but they are going to be targeted for deportation. And I started that area of the law around the time that the Chaldean community started facing deportation in 2017. But I really focus on family, criminal, and some immigration law.
As an attorney, you see all kind of cases. Sometimes you are, while in a court, you are trying to defend somebody, and you know inside you that person is not that innocent. How is your feeling toward that person? I know as a professional person, this person hired you and pay you to defend him, but sometimes you develop in your head. You said, you know, this guy is not that innocent. Does that make a difference how you defend him?
That's a great question. That's probably the most frequent question any lawyer gets. I look at it the way a judge should look at it, which is that my own personal views don't influence my representation of the Constitution. If I disagree, which of course I disagree with somebody who commits a crime, if they've committed the crime, but I have a Constitution that I have to uphold. I took an oath when I became a lawyer 10 years ago, and my personal views should not impact our justice system. That's why we have such a fair justice system in this country, and even though it's not perfect, we have to constantly improve it and make sure that our personal views don't get involved in justice. Justice should be blind, as the old expression is, and I never let my personal views get involved. I know I have a greater calling, which is to help people find justice.
Running for election, I've been through that. It's very tough, very hard for a family, very hard financial, very hard dealing with people, very hard taking time consuming. Tell us a little bit about your campaign. We are in the middle of Corona. You started your campaign middle of the virus COVID-19. It was very hard on every politician running for politics. How you adjust to that?
Well, I started the campaign before coronavirus, and then right when we started, coronavirus happened. And so we immediately had to adjust. And for the past 4 or 5 months, we've been constantly adapting and adjusting. So when the virus first happened, I was trying to get on the ballot. And you probably know, for judges, you have to get signatures to get on the ballot. You have to get 4,000 signatures. So that became difficult. So we were literally, sometimes my wife, my sisters, my parents even, we were going to people's mailboxes, dropping off a paper, coming back for 1 signature or even 2 signatures only. And we collected them, and we finally got on the ballot. Then when we got on the ballot, we needed to raise money to run the race. So we went virtual. We did virtual fundraisers, and we had a few of those. Now that some restrictions have been lifted, we've adjusted, and we're now mailing people my biography, my resume, and things like that to make them aware. We have signs on almost every corner in Oakland County, and we've started having events again. In fact, you came to one of my events, which I appreciate so much, because there's no substitute for person-to-person contact. But we want to be safe. We want people to continue to feel comfortable going to it. But we are using social media. We're using networks like this to promote our message. And we're using mail. And we will continue to do that. And we don't know what life will look like in November, but we're going to keep adapting and adjusting.
Secretary of State of Michigan, she tried to adapt mailing instead of going to the mailbox for election positions or election sites. She wanted to do it by the mail. Are you with or against?
I am with it as long as it's legal and accurate. So there's always errors that happen in any election. There's always room for fraud in any election. But as long as the ballots are mailed, sealed, signed, and delivered to the clerk's office in every community, and the clerk, takes the ballot and processes it, that's fine. We've been doing absentee for a long time. What we want to make sure we don't have is fraud. We don't want people who've been deceased to get ballots. We don't want people who can't vote to get ballots. So there needs to be a system, and I'm going to leave that to the Secretary of State. She has a very good organization in place, and I hope that everyone checks that so we have an accurate election.
Yeah, but absentee ballot been in the American system for a long time. Nobody complained about a fraud, And now, especially when they remove the rules, you have to be over 60. You have to be, absent or in the army or something. Now anybody could send it. And I think that will save a lot of time, save a lot of money, and save a lot of, even some people, they hesitate to go because they're scared from Corona, waiting in line, long lines, especially on this year, we have a presidential election. It's going to be a very long line. I think I personally just send my, for a primary, I just send my ballots.
Yeah, I agree.
I send it,
Like I said, I'm all for it. I want people to vote. I want people to do it. The fraud and all those things, they have checks for those. They'll take care of that stuff, hopefully. But especially during the pandemic, we don't want to discourage people from voting because they're scared to go in public, because they're scared to wait in line, because they're scared to be at the polls. So I'm all for, I want people to vote, especially in this election because I'm running. But in any election, we want people to vote, and we want people to vote safely. So I have no problem with absentee. My own parents vote absentee, but we want people to do it safely and securely.
When is the primary election?
August 4th.
August 4th, this year, next
Yes.
month.
Yes.
How many people running for your seats?
There's one seat and there's 3 people total running. So on August 4th, you're going to vote for one person, and the top 2 will go to November. And in November, you'll pick one.
Okay. So the judges they don't run in the ballot of Republican or Democrat. They're independent.
Correct.
All the judges, they cannot be the Democrat or Republican.
Correct.
Whatever view they have, they keep it to themselves.
Correct.
They run as independent, or is not as a Republican or Democrat. So by August 4th, there's one seat, 3 people running, you couple other people running. So the person who's gonna win, the 2 top seaters, top vote getters, they're gonna be moving to November 7th, right?
Correct.
Well,
November 3rd.
November 3rd,
November 3rd.
sorry, for November 3rd. So at that time, they're gonna decide to take one of them. How many judges in Oakland County?
We have 18 total. So I'm running now because one of the 18 is retiring, Judge James Alexander, who I'm very honored is supporting me to replace him. But we have 18 total judges, and each of those judges, when elected, get to have a 6-year term, and they can run until they're 70 years old. So this judge is 70 and he's retiring, although I don't think he wants me to tell people he's 70, because I think he would like to run for the rest of his life, but he can't. By law, you have to retire at 70.
He's not like a Supreme Court judge. He's
No.
gonna be for life.
No.
They nominate him for life.
Right.
So there's 18 circuit court judge in Oakland County. What is the difference between circuit court or district court?
Great question. And a lot of people don't know this answer, and we try to inform them, so I appreciate you asking that question. District courts handle misdemeanors and small disputes, small claims, misdemeanor crimes, and traffic tickets, essentially. They also hear some felony probable cause hearings, but they don't handle the whole case. So if you have a case that's $25,000 and less, you go to district court. If you have a misdemeanor, you go to district court. Circuit court handles more complicated and serious crimes, felonies, cases above $25,000, and there's other areas like divorce, custody, probate matters. It's the highest trial court in Oakland County and in any county.
So when the judge got elected, for example, we wish you to going to be elected, who decided which part you're going to take? Family, or you're going to take criminal, you're going to take bankruptcies? Who decided what you're going to take?
That's
Is
a good
it your
question.
choice, or there's a chief judge's choice? Who's choice?
It's a combination of people, because it depends on who's leaving the bench. If it's a family judge leaving the bench, then you're going to fill the family seat. But if it's not a family judge and a family judge wants to leave the family and go to another area, then you go to family.
So he got the seated judge. He can tell, I want to move out from family to probate, or do
Correct.
whatever you want to do, and you come over, you're going to fill in.
Correct.
For that
Correct.
position.
So the chief judge also has some influence on that, because if there's 2 opportunities available, you can maybe pick which one you want to get to, or the chief judge will decide. But it's complicated, and most people in Oakland County start in the family division first, and then if they want to move, they go to another
That's the
division.
worst part.
Well,
Family, that's the worst part.
I know most people view it like that. I do practice family law. I do divorce. I do custody. So I'd be very happy there, but I know that that's a very sensitive area, and not a lot of people like to be there.
So the chief judges, who elect the chief judges? The judges among themselves, they pick somebody, they said, or
The
they
Supreme
nominate
Court. The Supreme Court, actually. So the Supreme Court, you apply to be the chief judge, and the Supreme Court picks somebody from that. So each county has a chief judge, and the Supreme Court in Lansing picks that person.
Okay, so you reported directly to the Supreme Court of
Yes.
Michigan.
Yes.
Supreme
Yes.
Court of Michigan. So you're running, and election needs 3 things. They need people to vote. That's the most important thing. They need volunteers, and they need money. If the community, somebody in the community listening to us today, and he said, "Oh, Mr. Nijjar, I know Klarens does. His family been helping the community for a long time. He's a young man. We want him to be elected." How they can help you?
That's a great question. Those 3 things are definitely the most important. We need help to raise money, because, as you know, the only way we succeed in running for office is by communicating with voters. Every dollar that people donate to our campaign gives us the opportunity to send one more mail, make one more phone call, get one more sign, put one more thing on our website. So we really need donations. I'm running in a very big county. There's 1.2 to 1.3 million people in Oakland County. We need to reach as many as possible. So you can go to my website, which is das4judge.com.
DASS.
The number 4
Oh, number.
judge.
Okay.
So DASS4judge.com. And there's a form that says, if I want to help, you can fill out the form, your name, address, and tell us what you want to do. Do you want to volunteer on election day? Do you want to donate money? Do you want to contribute in other ways? And then we'll contact you and we'll connect you.
During when I was running for state rep, I had some people call me, said, Mr. Najjar, you know, I'm not a good English speaker and I don't have money. I'm retired and I'm in social service at Social Security. You know, my income is not that great. I cannot support you, but I'm free. I'm able. What can I do? Can I put a sign for you? I have a family member that can put a sign for you. So I think if it's the people that they don't have money, they don't have time, but they have time, they can go put sign in front of the people's houses, or they come send mailing and they do something, they can contact you. If there's a phone number, your campaign, they have a phone number they can contact.
Yeah, and I give people my cell phone number, which is 248-840-0548.
Can you say it slowly, please?
Absolutely. It's 248-840-0548.
Great.
You contact me. I take calls every day from 5 to 10 people a day asking about the campaign. And Nick, you made a great point. One of the easiest ways to support is to put a sign on the lawn, because when you put a sign, everyone that drives by your house sees it and they associate that sign with you. So you're getting the vote out by you having that sign on your lawn. And we have hundreds of signs available for people.
What I'm bringing to the table when I mention my election, I don't mean to insert some information there. The reason I'm just giving an experience. For example, I was in Macomb County, running Sterling Heights, Shelby, and Utica. Many people in Oakland County, West Bloomfield, Farmington, Oak Park, they don't want to support me. They said, oh, you are in Oakland, Macomb County, how are we going to support you? If you cannot vote, and if you are living in Macomb County or Wayne County or Genesee County or Washington County, do you want to help Mr. Das? They don't have to be just a vote. If you cannot vote, you can go volunteer, put sign, pass flyers. If you cannot do that too, you have a check. You want to mail a check, $150, $1, even $1. You know, beside the three items I mentioned, there's another thing. You can just call other people. Mm-hmm. Pick up a phone and call. You know, Nick Najjar, you live in Oakland County. I live in Warren or Sterling Heights or Shelby or somewhere. You know, but Clearance Dad's from our community. He's running in Oakland County. You know what? You live in Oak Park and Southfield and Wixom. You know, Farmington, Bloomfield Hills, West of Bloomfield, Livonia. Oh no, Livonia that's Wayne County.
Wayne County.
So please go and vote. Please fill the paper. If anyone he cannot fill the paper, you don't know how, please call me personally. I'm more than happy to help. Personally, I can sit with you, show you how to fill the papers, then we can mail it to the 586-206-9000. That's my number. If you cannot reach Mr. Das, you can reach me. I will come and help you how to fill that, the ballots. I'm more than happy to help. Anyone could support this young man here and let him win the election. Anything else you want to say before we leave?
No, I appreciate that, and I just want everyone to know I have the most endorsements in this race. I not only have been endorsed by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the judge who's retiring from this position, the Chief Judge of the Family Division, the Chief Judge of the Probate Court, the Sheriff, the Prosecutor, unions. I have the UAW has endorsed me. AFL-CIO just endorsed me, and 25 other judges. So I want people to feel comfortable. The community is behind me, and we need you to go out, vote, donate, whatever it is you think you can do, and as judges we can't ask for donations, so we rely on people like you, Nick, to ask for them. It will all help us. The only way I'll get this position is if people help and vote. That's the only way.
For last time, say your number slowly.
Absolutely. It's 248-840-0548.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to our show. You are welcome to our O.W.S. The TV committed to help you for nothing. So you are more than happy to help you, support you to win this election. You and any Middle Eastern young guys, older guys, women, and when I say guys, I don't mean guys only. Men and women, they are more than welcome. أعزائي المشاهدين, we are here right now. We ended the interview with Mr. Das, who's running for Oakland County Judge. Hopefully we'll see you in another show, and hopefully next time we'll meet with him. He's a judge in Oakland County.
من الشغل مثل خلينا نقول لماسو تكون على طول أركز على العضلات، أركز.
انت مستدخل نفسك ولا ايه؟